undergraduate education. About 47% of it comes from personal or family resources from your own family's accounts. 40% of it comes from the college or university that you're going to, again at the graduate level. And then there are all these other kinds of much smaller sources of money. Maybe the Pakistan government has scholarships. Maybe you have a private sponsor in the US who's helping you. Maybe you've got an employer who's helping you. Or maybe there's an international organization that's giving you some money. Different types of funding. Again, this is largely at the graduate level, because as an undergraduate, you're not going to be teaching any classes or conducting any research for a professor. But at the graduate level, this is common. Almost all graduate students do some of or a lot of this work. So yeah, you'll be teaching. And you get actual benefits with these jobs too, which is nice. Fellowships, again, are grants, usually at the graduate level, not so much at the undergraduate level. Scholarships are what undergraduates get, what you would get in your first degree. And those are just gifts of money for you to go to school. Campus employment. Again, just about everybody gets a job on campus who needs the money. So if typically the way it works is you get a package. You get multiple sources of funding to go to university. So you will get a little bit of scholarship. University will, let's say that the tuition is $20,000. Let's say the university is very generous and they cut that in half and they make it $10,000 for you. Then part of that agreement is that you also have to get a job on campus. So in addition to that $10,000 that they've given you, you have to work 20 hours a week doing something that might be interesting or not very. A lot of students work in the library. I wasn't one of those people, but it's a very common kind of employment. Some of them work in food services, some of them, a common job for very good students who demonstrate real maturity is to be responsible for the floor of the dormitory that they sleep on. They will be the student responsible for the security and the well-being of all the people on that floor. They're called resident assistants or RAs. It's a good job, but it's a responsible job. It means you don't get time off and you don't have as much fun as some of your colleagues, because if they get in trouble, you're the person who has to get things sorted out. But it looks very good to employers. It demonstrates your maturity. So those are some of the kinds of jobs that students get. Loans. This is the third leg of the package that people typically get. They get a scholarship, they get a job, they borrow money from a bank. And then any money that you or your family might have saved. All right. Once you arrive, I'm hoping you're strengthening your reading, vocabulary, and writing and language skills all the time anyway, because you're going to need those for the essay. This is writing skills are probably the single most important thing you can do to get into a U.S. university. More important than knowledge, more important than anything else. They're going to look at your ability to communicate in English and write. So, essay skills. Make and maintain connections with teachers. They can help you. And it's not just help you learn. If you go to study in the United States, you will be a long way from home. And you'll need to rebuild your community there. You'll need to make friends, and you might need some guidance. And so teachers can help you do that. They can help you establish a community. Perform community service or get a part-time job. It's very common for students in the United States to do things to help their communities, to work in shelters for homeless people, for example, or to work with seniors, with older retired people who may need special assistance. Or if you need extra money, you can get a part-time job. There will be limits on how much time the university can employ you. I think it's usually 20 hours a week, because they don't want you to work all the time and not study. They want to make sure you have enough time in your day to study, go to class, and also work and sleep and eat. But it's also possible to get additional work sometimes. if you're best in your classes, it should go without saying. Participate in a summer program, quality hands-on program to help you decide a certain career. This is very, very common in the United States. People do internships. And businesses are built around this. Typically, they don't pay any money. They're unpaid internships. But, for example, law firms in the United States have a lot of summer students come in and work in the law firm. They will be doing not very interesting jobs, won't be practicing law, but the student will get the feel of what it's like to be in a law firm. So yeah, internships, and it can be very competitive now to get into internships. There's a lot of competition to get good internships, so it's very, very common. All right, US EFT. Ali, you may know more about this than I do.
Educational Foundation in Pakistan.
There are 3 offices in Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. The only one we care about is Karachi. There are 3 departments: testing, Fulbright, and advising. Testing is, in your case, SATs. Fulbright is a particular kind of scholarship, an exchange program. And advising means people who can sit down and talk to you about what you need to know to go and study in the U.S. Sort of what I'm doing, but on a one-to-one basis. Once you get down to specifics, you've narrowed down your subject areas or your geography, and you want to move through the process in more detail. So these people can help you research U.S. institutions, figure out grade equivalency. What does that mean? In addition to not understanding cricket, I also don't understand your grades, your O levels, A levels. Forget it. I have no idea what that means. So somebody has to help you figure that out. How does this equal the system that's used in the United States? These are the people that can help you do it. Register to get information about standardized tests. Find financial aid. This will probably be critical for all of you. So there's really no other way than going through the advising services. It's very, very difficult to find financial aid on your own. It's hard. And then apply for admission and prepare for student visa. You don't want to do that alone either. You want to get somebody to look at your applications to make sure they're okay, and then to prepare to leave for the U.S. There will be a briefing.
And they don't charge anything.
It's free. Yeah. You'll want to know what it's going to be like as you get closer to the data. So there are people there at that briefing who can tell you what it's like. This is where US EFT gets its money. Or spends its money, actually. Largest in the world. Many other fellowships are available through a competitive merit-based selection process. And there's a website that's probably USEF Pakistan website. Okay, so in addition to Education USA, which is that other one, this one is the localized one that can help you through the actual process. If you need more advice, these are the people to talk to. And if you ever get stuck, this is the place to come back to. And are there any questions?
Pretty much answered all of them. Yeah, kids?
Anybody play sports? Yes, you have a question?
Yeah. I knew what